So NPO Year 2, we have launched our travelling story shell and we've started to take that around the borough. We've had a number of artist commissions and a big artist residency to create a new mural. We've ran a series of amazing library lates for adults. We've developed a programme with home library service customers who are housebound, and we've been shortlisted for 4 awards from the amazing work of the Green Libraries Commission, and we were regional finalists in the Library of the Year Awards. Also, we continued the book festival with fantastic authors, artists and poets coming to Barnsley. The key aim for the NPO this year was to start embedding a lot of the activities and events across the service, working on different ideas, new branches, increasing the variety of artists that we work with and trying to increase the participation numbers as well. I think across the programme we've really overachieved on the numbers. We've had over 22,000 people participate in our programmes this year, and we've really started to embed a lot of the activities. I think the projects have enhanced the cultural life in Barnsley. I think there's lots of variety across the borough, especially in the branches. There's lots of different things to see and do, and it just gives people that first opportunity really to get involved, or like a first step into a cultural event.
So this year we were really able to embed our evaluation toolkit, continuing to work with our evaluation consultants. So one of the things that we've developed and we've really been able to use this year is some feedback forms for library lates, where we were really able to pinpoint what we wanted to show we were achieving through that strand, and that was creativity and well-being. So we were able to score how each participant felt after completing the session based on if they enjoyed the event, did they feel more creative, and then we were able to take all of that to get some really clear stats to share with our stakeholders and other people to show that the lates were achieving what we wanted them to. Across the last year of the NPO, we've been able to collect over 600 responses from different participants, whether that be a postcard that they've completed at an event or a survey that they've completed afterwards through the Arts Council's platform Illuminate. So going forward, now we've really had a chance to embed the toolkit and see that it works in Year 2. In Year 3, we'd like to sort of roll that out to the rest of the library staff. We've already conducted some training with some frontline staff, and we're seeing them growing confidence in conducting surveys and evaluation already.
So this year's audience engagement's been really broad and varied. We've had 22,000 people plus take part in the activities, and that ranges from families through to older people as part of our home library service. Feedback's been really positive and we've really acted on it, so we're making programmes and activities that people are asking for and wanting to participate in. Acting on feedback that we've had through evaluation in Year 1, we've tried to ensure that our programmes are all inclusive as possible, so we've had BSL supported activities, and we've given out golden tickets this year for people who might have a barrier to accessing our events. We've also tried to create events on a number of themes, including Black History Month, and we've worked with older people who are housebound through our home library service. So in terms of our audiences, this year's been a lot more diverse.
So on the commissions, we've engaged 1,151 people across all our libraries in the borough. We've had various different artist commissions this year that have reached across the borough and across all our libraries in Barnsley. Some have been new emerging artists that we've never worked with before, and in fact haven't worked in Barnsley before, and some have been artists that we have worked with in the past, but all these artist commissions have been chosen by community panels to make sure that the community is really having a say in what we're putting on in the libraries and in their communities. We also gave local people the opportunity to apply for our artist commissions, and of those 12 creatives employed, there were a lot of local artists and new emerging artists. One of these artists, called Izzy DeBeery, has gone on to get more work in the Barnsley Borough as a result of working on our artist commissions.
In our original application, we wanted to commission a travelling story space. We weren't exactly sure what that would be, but 20 artists applied and we chose one in particular to take forward to develop as part of the commission. So this enabled us to create the travelling story shell with Susie Devi and Steve Messam. The story shell is an air-filled space that is a giant seashell, and we've been taking that to different places across the borough. So we popped up at the garden party, we've been to schools, and we're planning on taking it on a tour to lots of different festivals and events. And it's a really unique art space. It's a really different place that people can come inside and be encouraged to see stories and creativity in a different way. So within the travelling story space so far, we've had live musicians, we've had storytellers, and we've had artists as well, all doing very different things, looking at the characters that are on the inside and inspiring people to create their own stories and really give people an amazing experience in lots of different creative ways.
So we kicked this year's festival off in February half term with a real focus on family events and encouraging reading for pleasure and creativity for young people. We had young people creating stories at various libraries and branches across the borough, as well as the opportunity to see well-known, renowned artists perform live and have made a career for themselves in that creative way, hopefully to inspire the younger generation to come back to the book festival next year, but also to develop their own creativity at home, at school. We also wanted to continue to support some of our local authors and creatives. This included a local author panel, which we held at Roundhouse Library, as well as some writing workshops with Ian McMillan, Toria Gorbett, and also Barnsley Creative Writing Group. So this year, we still wanted the festival to have a big impact, but run for a shorter amount of time. This was because last year, it at times felt a little unmanageable and maybe went on a bit too long. People lost interest and momentum at the end. And we really wanted to condense that, to plug that gap at February half term and keep people interested in the book festival and the events that we had to offer. However, the book festival was really successful. It managed to engage over 2,000 people across the borough and beyond at 36 events at 12 of our libraries.
So this year for our Library Lates programme we had 35 events with different artists and different art forms, and they were all really well received. We had events across 6 different libraries in the borough and they were all really popular. A couple of the Library Lates that really stood out to me would be, one of them we partnered with a local organisation called Creative Recovery and held a moth night. So participants prepared some kind of writing or spoken word and then performed it on the night, and there was just such a lovely atmosphere in the room. And it was a mixture of people that attend Creative Recovery regularly and then just other people in Barnsley that all came together to celebrate the work that they'd been doing, which was lovely. Through our Library Lates, we've seen a lot of people come to the library for the first time and maybe wouldn't have thought that the library was a destination for them, but through doing different kinds of activities and catching people's interest with the arts, then they've come in, seen the library and signed up to be members or come back for further events. So it's been really great for engaging new people. We've had lots of lovely feedback on our Library Lates, and 90% of people that have sent us in feedback have said that they felt more creative after the sessions, which is great because that's one of our objectives for Library Lates, is to improve people's wellbeing through creativity. So through the Library Lates programme, we've employed 19 creatives and artists across the year, and that was through varying different types of art forms, from painting to ceramics, to needle felting. So there's been a real wide range of art forms and artists as well.
The Home Library Service project was creating oral histories with people in their own homes, so giving them a chance to sit and talk about their life stories and reflect on different parts of their life, and they were recorded on audio CDs to create audio stories for other people on the Home Library Service to listen to. They worked with an oral historian, and the main thing about this programme was that the participants got to spend time talking about their lives, and it was really wrapped up in a health and wellbeing programme in terms of enabling them to feel less isolated and be part of something from within their own space. The participants who were involved have been mostly elderly, and sadly 2 of the participants had died after the programme was completed, and the amazing thing from that is that their oral histories and their interviews have been able to be passed to their friends and family. One of them was used in their funeral eulogy, so the impact of it for them and their families as individuals has been really touching. And in fact, we were shortlisted for the Best Age-Friendly Outreach Award for some of this work as well.
My personal highlight from the last year in the MPO was the Green Libraries Commission. We worked with a group of young people in Barnsley to decide what the commission would be, and then another group of young people took part in creating a film with Flygale Films called Change Is Coming, which was about taking climate anxiety and turning it into positive action. And it was really great to see the young people throughout the whole process, from beginning to end, seeing them grow in confidence, learning new skills, and being able to then do a Q&A in front of a big audience at the Parkway Cinema, where they talked about what they wanted to change in Barnsley for climate change. So that was really great.
One of the ones that really stood out for me this year was our creative residency at Worsborough Library. So we worked with the Central Area team and Aria House, and Alistair, who was our artist working on there, was ensuring that all his workshops were accessible and really involved the community in decision makings and the creativity involved as well.
So for me, it has to be the Michael Rosen event at the Lightbox that makes me feel most proud of what we've achieved this year. Seeing all of those families so engaged with what Michael was performing, and also watching young people at the end going to buy books, get them signed, engagement on Facebook where people are saying that the children were still reading the books at home and talking about the event afterwards. And also the audience that Michael brought was really diverse. It wasn't just the children getting something out of that event. We could see adults also watching Michael, just in awe, people really regretting the fact that they missed the tickets because they sold so fast. And it just really showed what a wonderful space the Lightbox is to host events like this.